Hey guys, welcome yet again to another Loomian Legacy Sweep. I'm Mr. Lucky Luke, and today's one we got ourselves a Zuelong Sweep. Yes, people, we're back for more Loomian Legacy Sweep, and today's one we're gonna be doing a little bit more like a remastered of a sweep kind of maneuver, and we're gonna be taking a look again at Zuelong, which is something I don't really usually do because I usually don't remaster stuff unless it's like very important. But for this one, I specifically went for Zulion because um, I actually used to do a Zulion sweep, which was let me actually just double check so I know how long that was. It was a year ago from November 8th, 2023, and I did a melee attacking Zulion sweep, which if you obviously are new, you can definitely check that out. It was back when the better design, I mean, the old design was made, and totally when Jamie James wasn't upset about it. But anyways, but pretty much we're gonna be seeing how we're gonna be able to use a Zuelong moveset and try use a potential sweeping set. Now we have obviously have done a melee attacking one, which I thought first I was like, should we try a melee attacking one or should we just go with the range attacking one, which would had a little decision, and I decided I wanted to try something a little stupid, and I wanted to try a Zulion sweep with a range attacking set, and I might as well just and pop in with that mighty strong static shock. So we're gonna be seeing if we can get a sweep with lots of using static shock for this potential sweep. Now looking at its stats, it's rather unique. I forgot to turn it off. Hold on, excuse me. You can. I'll tell you more about that strat anyways afterwards. Okay, let me just. I don't know why I just did that before. But you know what? You should forget that part of the memory you never saw in your life. All right. But okay, let me just refresh since I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, so for this stat, look at this. It has 625 base in total. Rather pretty good. It has a very good speed with 119, 109 for range attack. I mean, it's so pretty solid for a range attacker. It also has a 92 and 88 for 92 for melee attack and 88 for energy, which I mean it's okay if you want to run a melee attacking one and have some solid energy. And then it gets like 78 for health, and then well solid range defense with 79, and then has that terrible 60 melee defense. So it's rather a bad, well, kind of a bad, but also pretty good Loomian to use. Now it has a very frail, obviously with this having it's a pretty standard speedy range attacker set that people have been running a lot. It's very complicated because it may be fast and strong, but it has that frail defense and has a very terrible health and range defense. Not really terrible one, but it's solid enough to withstand a non-effort value a non-effort value the Loomian maybe, but either way, for this one we're gonna have to try use the move static shock. Static shock. What did I say? Static shock. That is officially gonna be a new move now in the future. Oh, great. So stupid of me. Anyways, also has two abilities which awaken and brute force. I was gonna plan to use brute force, but I was kind of lazy, so I just didn't use it. So I just used awakening. It also has that ancient roar, which is signature move. However, people already know how ancient roar works, since I've already done multiple sweeps with the ancient roar strategy, and we won't be able to use that. And also one thing about this is about this Zulion, it particularly doesn't have any way to increase its range attack or melee attack. So for this one, we're gonna have to rely on a couple of bequeath strategy in order to get this sweep, because yeah, it may be powerful for, well, single-handedly a couple of few Loomians, but with only having an electric and ancient type combination, but maybe, well, not exactly. It doesn't have it does have also plenty of other coverage, but they're all melee attacks. So we're gonna see how we're gonna be able to do a nice sweep with using the mighty Static Shock. Alright, let's jump into the first battle here, and we're gonna see how this strategy of mine works out. Now, for this one, we're gonna have to rely on quite a few Loomians before we can send in the Zuelong with the mighty Static Shock, and I hope you enjoy this one. So we got I Feel Good. You get the if you get the song I feel good. Yeah, you can definitely understand that was a perfect pun there. So, anyways, so we got my Banoki here against Gandervale. I have never used this Loomian before, so I've never heard of it. So maybe I might try it in the future. Maybe I'll sweep with it. So I don't know. It depends. Anyways, so this thing went for a double beat, and that was super effective. And unfortunately, that took me out. I didn't get my strategy on, so I had to try another way for me to set up. Now, that strategy was simply just set up an Icicle Trap and a Banana Split, since for this strategy I'm using, it was kind of bad since I used kind of a bad personality with it. However, for this strategy to work, well, it's actually not a strategy. It was my particular choice I used to run this one, so it kind of went like that, since I'll explain more about it at the end of the video. So yeah. So anyways, so I went for the tribute. I went for Mr. Recording, aka Whipple Dripple or Dripple Drift, and it's gonna have the Wind Summoning, which originally had another different ability, which I'll check it out quickly before we do anything. Whipple Dripple used to have another move. Let me do this before we continue onwards. Let me making sure. So hold on. Let's see here. So I'm literally looking it up while I'm doing the video. So yeah. So originally it had a different move. I don't know what it was, but it definitely was not Wind Summon. It definitely was I think it must have been a new updated move. They replaced it with Wind Summon. I actually never knew it had it before it, but I guess they must have. You know what, guys? Let me know in the comments which ability was it. I kind of want to know, because it was basically a useless ability that wasn't glidey. So I wasn't upset about having the Wind Glide ability, since it had no effect about this sweep. But basically, it's a cool new feature that Whipple Drifter has now. So anyways, so I got my Gust, I got my Magnify, the Vocaloa, and probably gonna try do something, and probably gonna try take my Whipple Drifter out. So I had really no option but to go for the Bequeath and see if I can get myself a nice little Zuelong sweep with the mighty Static Shock. They're gonna decide to swap it out into their Plasmoth, and we're gonna see if I can get the Zuelong sweep. Enjoy. All right, so that went a little fortunate there. Yeah, that went a little like something between it, pretty cool and pretty unfortunate. Actually, no, start over, start over. All right, so sadly, guys, we ended up with a fail there, but the Volcaloa, sorry, Volcalea, is that the female version of it? But either way, so Volcaloa must have some sort of very nimble or the nimble with spectacular boots because, with 1+ on speed, with the gust, I would have outsped it with it, even with max nimble or the max speed with nimble. I would have had probably no issue. So I'm assuming must have spectacular boots or very nimble with it something because that thing definitely should have not get outsped. So the reason why I actually would have not outsped it is because the strategy I'm using is a little bit something a lot more slower. So my Zuelong is actually a more of a slower Zuelong that most people wouldn't expect. So I was gonna explain it, but that is one reason that I wanted to use a banana split or a gust strategy. Let's just say that. So yeah. Now, but anyway, so basically that was a fail there, but we got pretty close there. If as long as I did outspeed the Vocaloa. I kind of almost say it almost. Anyways, so the basically we're gonna try another attempt, and we're gonna see how things end. If this battle is gonna end up like just like last time, or if it's gonna end up just like this one. I don't know if that's really a word to how you say it the way, but either way, doesn't matter. So we got a Tad Tab. I went for an Icicle Trap, and then I pretty much went down, so I couldn't get my Banana Split. Um, I didn't get my tribute off, fortunately, because I got outsped. So I went for my recording, aka Whipple Drifter or Ripple Drift. Um, and just go for a magnify and a nice little gust combination, since that's really all I can do. So I wanted to try another one since I don't know if I should use Bequith right off the way because I didn't know what their team was using since I didn't see their like I didn't have those like you see in the beginning there was like those question marks, and basically I prevent the people to see what my team had, and I prevent them to see, or I prevented from seeing theirs and theirs to mine. Basically, I don't know how to say it without making it makes too much sense. Anyway, so but you know, besides that, we're gonna try now. Let's see if I can get that sweep there. So Jungutsu is gonna basically do nothing, and we're gonna bequeath ourselves into Zuliang, and hope you guys and girls enjoy the battle. Alright guys, so we actually got that sweep there, but I didn't really felt satisfied from that sweep because they brought basically 2 regular Loomians, 1 roaming, and 2 baby Loomians. So I didn't feel very like happy about me getting that sweep. So we're gonna try another one and see if we can get an actual sweep with fully evolved team or a couple roamings with them. So anyways, so I feel good. Literally, I don't know if I can replace a good name like that. Anyways, so here comes the Jetstream, and again, I didn't get the banana split strategy, which kind of sucks since I literally I didn't get my strategy on. Like, I couldn't get my strategy with my banana split, but I always have my backup in case that happens. So we got Snagoop is gonna go for Jetstream, and it took my out. Then they're gonna go for the Poison Bobs, which was like, oh, this could be bad because if I don't remove the Bobs, this can actually end the sweep. So I went for the Tribute, and I gladly went for the had a Whipple Driffle because this was an actual attempt at Zuelong sweeps. Because if I didn't go for the Zuelong, I obviously didn't have didn't really know what to sweep with since I can only sweep with I would have sweep only with poison Loomians or air type Loomians obviously. So yeah. So yeah, so we went to my Whipple Drift, and Ola gonna go for the couple Gust, remove the Bobs, and hopefully, at least I hope for so, I hopefully the opponent switches because I am not gonna swap while I'm poisoned. So I'm gonna go for the Gust and remove the entry hazards on me, and then I'm gonna go for the Magnify. I'm gonna go for basically twice since I generally don't think um, I'm not gonna let this thing go for the Bobs because I'm not letting this thing ruin my sweep here. So I think I went for another Magnify, and then I went for, no, I think I went for Gust, and then a Magnify, since obviously I basically, I refused it. I refused to let it use any entries hazards on me. So I have plus 2 speed, plus 2 in range attack. However, I wanted to go for one more Magnify, or I could have gone for the Bequith. I didn't know whether if it wants to stay in or not, so I had to just basically pray that it didn't swap into something, scary like, like ice type and poison types and stuff. Which Dokimori, which last video I totally said Dokomori, not Dokuda, and it's gonna go for the Venom Chomp. They're gonna do absolutely nothing. They activate my Rage plushie, and then I thought this could be a perfect opportunity to now to swap into Zuelong and see if I can get an actual sweep. Hope you guys and girls enjoy the battle. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed the Zuelong sweep there. Like I said, I actually got that one pretty nicely. I don't know why did they keep swapping back and forward. Like the third battle, I mean, even if they swap back and forward, I would have got that sweep anyway since, well, I had Element Burst and any of the two Loomians except for that Meditoad. I certainly could have gone for the Static Shock. I mean, I got a nice KO with with the Obstrudigon, or not the Oxydrake. Was it that one? I'm just gonna make sure so I don't mistake some other Loomians, since you know what you know me basically. Let me just double check so if it is Oxydrake and not something else, obviously. Oxydrake. Yeah, it was Oxydrake. So I actually managed to get a KO with the Static Shock on Oxydrake. And one thing I noticed in this video, I actually got +6 on my range attack, and that is because I'm assuming the Rage plushie actually have now got a little upgrade. So now Rage plushie is now from +1 to +2 for both range and melee attack, because I had +2 magnify and there were nothing else besides that. So my Rage plushie basically gave me a +6 in total, and I would have gotten that. I ended up getting that sweep with it. So basically this challenge was me just use Static Shock, and that's really it. But however, I didn't get to completely use a Static Shock only, because with Static Shock only having a base 40 power, there were really no way I was able to guarantee to take out lots of most Loomians, especially when they're resist to there's a lot of resisted types, since well I basically can attack some neutral Loomians, but resisted types and more tanky ones I'll have to go for the big damage basically. So for this one, let's talk about it first. We got a Frail, Slushy, and Very Smart. We got the Electric Essence as the item, because we want to boost the Static Shock with it. We got Awakening. Now really have no effects of this battle. And the only 3 moves I really used was Element Burst and Static Shock. The Thunder Strike we only got to use on the Modagon. On the second battle, I believe I did, unless I missed something. And Ancient's Roar was nowhere near to use. I mean, I only kept it just to use it, just to have it on its signature move on this battle. Not really a reason. Although I could have gone for the Ancient's Roar in case I want to do some trolling and maybe do like a swap back and forward, just so I can use Static Shock for 1 turn and maybe do this. I can just do a full power Static Shock with no boost on, and just do it with my base stats. So yeah, maybe that could have been something I could have used, but in the end I never did it. And once I had those, well actually no, never mind. And you know what? I was about to say something there, but I probably forgot about it. It doesn't matter. Anyways, so basically, Element Burst to use as an Ancient type coverage, Static Shock for basically, well, Electric type, and I also have Thunder Strike for basically anything that has a lot of tank, and then the only way to attack certain tankers. Is that the way we're going with? And then we have Ancient Roar. So yeah, the TPs we run was max speed, max range attack with 100 for health. The reason why I run this is because I wanted to make sure I withstand a couple attacks. Now, I won't be able to withstand effort valued super effective attackers, or just any super effective attack, because Zuelong may be very fast and has good hitting moves with range attack. It's a hard hitter. However, it's very frail on its bulk, so it's not exactly a bulky Loomian. So that was the problem with the sweep. Now you can obviously change this Zuelong to a more of a very smart and I think Tender, maybe Tender could be a good one if I'm not mistaking my knowledge on personalities, since I don't really use Tender. Usually go with Smart, Brawler, or Brawny, and Nimble really most likely. Let me just make sure. Tender was. Yeah, Tender is that. So yeah, so you can run Frail, Tender, Very Smart Zuelong with max speed, max range attack, and making sure it hits pretty good, but also has a pretty good speed. The reason why I wanted to run more of a slower one and with a bad personality, 1, I was too lazy to find a good personality with it, and 2, I wanted to use I wanted to see if I can remove that personality nerf and make use of basically making this like kind of like you can say I basically remove the slushy and make this thing just a frail, very smart Zuelong kind of with no issues obviously. Unfortunately for this one, like I said, the only way I got the sweep is because I got the bequeath, because this thing, like I said, had no way to use any boost. They didn't have any like buffing stats. Um, like it didn't have anything. Literally, I really didn't find it anything useful with it. So you can't really use anything like, I mean, yeah, that really it. I mean, you only can do is just hit hard, and hopefully you can KO the Loomians without issues. So, yeah, it's really it. So I'm sorry. Like Zuelong by far, I'm gonna say this for the Zuelong fans. I'm saying it again. I'm not sure if anyone like or not. No. I'm not gonna go for that far. But basically, Zuelong is not good of a sweeper. It can be more of a speedy attacker, but or a range attacker. Sorry. But it's not a very much of a sweeping Loomian. It hits hard, but it's never going to be a sweeper. Sorry, it's never going to be a type of sweeper. So it can hit hard, but it doesn't have the energy to go for a sweep, especially when it has cost 50 on energy for both Thunderstrike and Element Burst. And since it only has a couple, well, it has a solid amount of energy, I can clarify say it's not going to be able to KO lots of things. Let's just say that. And I'm saying this because I don't like Zuelong, so yeah. And like I said, I really never liked Zuelong. I never understand why people like Zuelong. The only reason why people are not gonna like it is because Jamie didn't like the design, and now he wants a new model, and this is the only reason whatever Zuelong fans will like it. So yeah, I'm not gonna give it much credit because I never liked Zuelong, and never will, and that's it. So the next sweep, potentially, I'm not sure what I'll be going for. Maybe some other sweeps I might make next week. Potentially something that I've always wanted to see if I can learn, if I can do one. But that'll only happen some other next week. So maybe I might do it, but it's only a matter of time. So I'm not going to say which one it is. However, let's just say I've done a couple of those evolutionary line to get its own sweep. Let's just say that, okay? I've done 1, 2, yeah, that's it. Just 2 of the evolution lines of it. So it has multiple evolutions, which needs to stop getting its own evolution, and that's really it. So yeah, besides that, that is simply the Zuelong sweep. Pretty boring Loomian for me to use, but whatever. I got it at the end. Like the video, comment below if you like Zuelong, dislike it if you don't like the sweep, if you want to, like the Plasma sweep, which, by the way, I don't understand why Plasma deserves a dislike. Whoever disliked me, you can change that to a like, or just not dislike anything, because, like, that sweep that did take a while to actually get it, so you should respect the sweeps. So yeah, anyways, that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching today's video, and as always, stay lucky out there. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm not giving you Zuelong on that fans any loving to it. I hate this thing. So, goodbye.